Hi everyone, I'm Ashley and I am here on the set of The Chosen and I am about to chat with Dallas Jenkins. You are the creator, writer, director, producer. I mean, what do you not do?
Oh, there's plenty I don't do.
Do you sleep?
No, I don't sleep. That's for sure.
Okay.
Something I don't do.
Okay, first thing I want to ask you is, have you ever written yourself in these scenes, in these characters?
That's a great question. I've actually never been asked before. And it's funny because I think my co-writers and I are always writing ourselves, and I think that's most writing takes place based on your own personal experience. Of course, we have a responsibility to the text and to the Gospels,
For sure.
and to the character and intentions of Jesus and the Gospels. I'm definitely not writing myself into Jesus, that's for sure. But when you're developing the backstories, the key is going, okay, so how do we know what Matthew would have been like as he changed from being a hated, selfish tax collector towards someone who is following Christ?
Yeah.
Well, I think we can know because I know people like that and I know myself. And how I've overcome certain vices, addictions, selfish desires that had to be broken down by Jesus and what that looked like.
Yeah.
So I think that's the for lack of a better term, the secret sauce of the show is the humanity of it and going, oh my goodness, that was me.
Absolutely.
I'm Mary Magdalene. I'm Simon Peter. I'm Andrew.
Yep.
And I think consistently reminding ourselves of the humanity of these people is something we have to keep doing. And I think that's what captures ultimately the gospel, because the gospel redeemed the depravity of humanity.
Amen.
Not just a sugar-coated stained glass window version of it.
Let's talk about Judas. What's it like, weaving him into the story now, but also working with Luke, who's the actor who plays him? Yeah,
Judas has been, leading up to it, our most intimidating character. Is how do we introduce Judas when you know that the moment he comes on screen, the audience is going, that guy's going to betray Christ. We need to, he's the enemy. He's the bad guy. When you actually have 3 or 4 seasons of him being with the disciples. And the Gospels say that he was part of the ministry. He was sent out 2 by 2 to heal and to, he would have been part of all that. And we also know, it seems like the Gospels indicate Jesus knew almost from the beginning that Judas was going to be a betrayer. How do you portray that? Talking with Jonathan about how he portrays the scenes with Luke. All that goes into it. So it's been very difficult to write and devise, but we ultimately realized Judas would have been a character that the other disciples didn't know was a betrayer. He would have been likable. So again, we do what we've done with all the characters. We start with where it ends up, and we work our way backwards.
That's cool.
And so in some ways it's intimidating, in other ways it's really fun.
Well, I also want to talk to you about the women in the series. I've heard that the women's stories are really being developed, and we see a lot more of what the women are doing, what they're thinking. Why was that important to portray, especially in season 3 and coming seasons?
Well, I think in the first 2 seasons, other than Mary's relapse, the women had a tendency in our show to be really wonderful. We were focused on the disciples, and the women were other than Mary Magdalene, were supporting characters, much like some of the men were. And we're like, you know what, we have to make sure that they're just as well-rounded as the disciples are. We need to see their conflict and some of their own sin struggles. It can't just be that because women haven't always been portrayed much in Bible stories, that now we're going to introduce them and they're going to be these angels of light that are always just providing the solution to all these stupid men. That's not accurate either. So, season 3, we just, we approach every season, we look at every character and say, where are they in the journey? And I think we have to explore the fact that Tamar, especially a Gentile, coming into this group, what's that going to look like? Is there going to be some resentment? I think so. 3 women forced to live together, coming back from the trip, and they're forced to live in Mary's house, which is pretty small. I have to imagine that proposes some potential issues that they have to overcome. We know that Jesus' ministry was primarily supported financially by women, so we explore that. And they start a business, and the business is essential, and so we have fun exploring that. But also exploring women. If you've talked to the actresses, they're like, we get to argue a little bit. We get to do some of what the boys get to do.
How has it been weaving other New Testament biblical characters into the story?
Well, that's the fun part. You get a chance to, when I watch certain movies or shows, and you get that moment where a character from a comic book or a character from a true story or from a book that you've read kind of surprises you and comes into the scene. It's really exciting. We take some time to introduce you to Lazarus and Jesus' relationship with him, and we know that Jesus and Lazarus must have been very close. So giving Jesus a friend that existed before he called the disciples is just a really cool thing to explore.
What about two women named Mary and Martha?
You'll have to see. But yeah, again, it's not going to be interesting when we face the big moment with Lazarus and Mary and Martha later, if you don't know them beforehand.
Yep, absolutely.
So we for sure take our time.
Well, that would be what's called a tease. we can't tell you. You're going to have to watch it. But that is something I look forward to, that dynamic. For me, one of the big things about this series is it makes them very human.
That's what I was taking away from that interview, that these were people who had issues and life just like us. We don't think about that when we read the scriptures, but that is true.
Yeah.
Humanity.
And we're on a journey together.
Yes.
Well, the first 2 episodes of The Chosen Season 3 will premiere in theaters again nationwide this Friday, November 18th. Tickets are on sale now. To find out how you can buy them, go to cbnnews.com for a link. Hello, I'm Gordon Robertson. Thanks for watching the video. Be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more encouraging videos like this one. Welcome to the 700 Club Interactive family, and God bless you.